Yesterday, I was chatting with my husband. This is what he said to me. While he was talking to our son, at one point, our son said, "Daddy, I worry about you." And he said, "Oh no, that's my job to be a daddy. I will take care of you and mommy, and you don't have to worry about me." And our son replied with, "But Daddy, I worry about you because I'm your son." And when I heard that, tears are pouring down my face and my heart. Part of me gripped with joy, gripped with pain, and yet was feeling a lot of joy. Because on one hand, I was feeling the pain where this was through generations where men felt the need to be the sole caretaker of the family, that that they believe that no one should care about them because they are the protector of the family. And I could feel that pain being carried down through the generations. And yet I was filled with joy because with all the hard work that both my husband and I put in, my son is in the process of breaking this generation trauma, that he is letting all the men know that they do deserve to be cared for and loved. And I was so proud to hear that coming out from my son. Yeah, that's my story. I don't know how else to change it, but I wanted to share this with the world.
I'm so proud of what you and Anthony have done in raising Damien. I'm so proud of the family that you've built, because I think in a lot of ways it's the family that you needed, right? And doing enough work on yourself in order to show up as a mom in that space, doing the work that you've done to be the parents that you are. And the fact that your son is like 6, turning 7. I think Damien is turning 7 this year, right?
Yeah, on
In
June 2nd.
June.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, June 1st is my dad's birthday, so
Oh,
June is a
okay.
good sign. Yeah. June 2nd is Damien's birthday. He's turning 7 and he can say, Daddy, I worry about you. Thank you for sharing this with me and the rest of the world. But really, thank you for being the parents that you have been to that little boy, because you've raised an amazing boy who's going to be an incredible man who changes the world, because he has seen you fail. He has seen you work hard. He has seen you try. He has seen you show up. Even at Speaker Slam, show up and win. He's also seen you really put in the work, show up, but not get first place. But in all these lessons, you've taught him, you've not just taught him, but you've showed him to live life in a way that is honoring, honorable, but also in a way that honors the people that he cares about. For him to articulate that at 6, oh my gosh. I'm so proud of you and your family. And it's an honor to know you. It's an honor to know you and to get to do life alongside you. Love you.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like when I heard that, I felt that was my dad's face showed up in
Mm.
my mind. because he works so hard, and because of the dynamics, he still felt he's just there to go along with everything. And to a lot of the stories that I heard coming from like that has to be centered around men, that they felt the only contribution that they can give to a family is just to bring in the money.
Bring the money to protect and to provide.
Yeah, to protect and to provide. And as much as I love how we're raising powerful women, part of me is like, we need more people to talk to little boys, to show them
Mm,
that
mm,
they are loved. Other people do worry about them,
mm.
that they are part of the family, and we do care about them. And so, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you are changing the world just by raising Damien, just by being the mom that you are. I'm proud of you, my friend. I'm so proud of you. You go, girl. You go, Damien. Auntie Phoebe says hi. Yeah. I cannot wait to see the little man he's gonna be,
Mm,
the kind of man he becomes.
mm,
Mm. Rooting for you. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for you. Oh my gosh, that touched me deep. I worry about you.
mm-hmm. Your turn.
Damn it. I just turned 26. On the 12th of April, 10 days ago today. And on my birthday, my dad got to bury one of his most amazing friends, one of his best friends, if I may, because when you've known someone for nearly 40 years, that person is not just a friend, he's practically family. But this person was not just my dad's friend, he was a family doctor who was also who has treated us since we were babies, but also has taken care of my parents and their parents' parents when they were still alive. You see, he was the kind of guy who would make you laugh on the worst day of your life. When you go to hospital and you're shaking and you hate being there and you're afraid of needles, and he would just crack you up. He would make this joke in this face, and his laughter was funnier than the joke. And so you would end up laughing, even though you don't want to laugh or you don't want to be there. And it's funny because when I heard that he had passed away, in the midst of the sadness, whenever I closed my eyes, all I could see was his face smiling. It was him laughing because that's the kind of person he was, who spent more than half his life inspiring people, who spent more than half of his life just holding space and helping make other people's lives better. And so in his transition, I'm also comforted in knowing that he lived a good life. And if anything, that is an example of a legacy life that we can all build today. But where I'm going with this is having a conversation with dad telling me I really, really miss my friend. That I miss texting him at 2 a.m. because he was the one person who would actually scold my dad and be like, Peter, stop texting me at 2 a.m. Go to bed or your brain is gonna age. He was the one person who would talk to dad that way. And to dad, I didn't know until when I saw my dad's tribute, where he said to me, you are more than family. You've taken care of me when I couldn't take care of me. You've taken care of my parents when I couldn't take care of them, and my family as well. You are more than a dear blood brother to me. And so seeing my dad in his grief, holding space for my dad in his grief, has taught me so much about honoring the people we have in our lives, but also seeing my dad as human, not just as this superhero, this pillar of my family, but really just seeing him as a man who lost his really amazing friend who's been there for him through the loss of his parents, the loss of his parents-in-law, my mom's parents, who's been there with him throughout his life, and now not knowing who to text at 2 a.m., not getting any free medical advice whenever he needs it, right? Because getting on a call with dad, I have a headache, and he's like, try this meds, and if that doesn't work, try this, and if that doesn't work, try this, and if that doesn't work, then we're gonna call doc. And that has been through the years of their friendship. Dad learning medical terms and all of these things because of the friendship they had. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm grateful to see my dad just be a man, just be a guy whose heart is so broken, but also try to pick up those pieces of his broken heart so he can be there for the family that just lost their dad, for those kids who see him as an uncle because they've also known him for more than half their lives as well. And so I resonate deeply with what you shared, that we're not just raising, we're not just meant to be raising powerful women, ambitious women, but also supporting the men to know that you don't always have to be strong, that in your imperfection, you are perfect in your imperfection. In your brokenness, you're still perfect for us, because now we don't see you on a pedestal. You get to be vulnerable and still be manly. You get to be vulnerable and still be powerful. You get to be vulnerable and still be an incredible and amazing dad. And so I guess this story doesn't really have an end. Of course, my family is still grieving. My dad is still deeply grieving the loss of his dear friend, but it also makes you realize that when you don't have to hold it all in, and at the same time, what a beautiful friendship that was. What a beautiful friendship. And we all get to choose the people we get to do life with, because those people become our family. We don't get to choose the blood family we're born into, but we get to choose the friends that we want to have, the people we want to do life with, the people who are going to be there for you through the high highs of life, and the moments where you spend a few nights on the floor because you don't have the strength to get to your bed, the moments where you feel your heart break into a million little pieces. And so I guess that's all I have to say, really. The one thing that has been on my mind throughout this past week has been, if I only had one day to live, if I only had 60 days to live, if I only had 60 minutes to live, and more than that, if I only had 60 seconds to live, would I be proud of how I've lived? What would I do with those 60 seconds? How would I choose to show up? And so I guess that's all.
Mm. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. He was a phenomenal human being who touched so many people and made such an impact on the people that he knew. And what a life to live, to have lived so fully,
So wholesomely.
so wholesomely.
Mm.
And just, it's such a loss and yet such a celebration.
Such a celebration. Such a celebration. Such an inspiration for us who are still here, that when we get to the end, do we want to ask for more time or celebrate the time that we've already had, the life that we've already led? I feel that it's funny because our dog transitioned on Easter, and his family was like, that he probably just walked right into heaven, and he's out there making everybody else laugh. with his stethoscope and his, his jokes. He loved what he did. He had this deep passion for what he did. Imagine waking up every day to make your patients laugh. Do you know how sick you have to be in a hospital? Imagine cracking up in a hospital whereby if you were meant to be in there for 30 minutes, you're in there for an hour because you forgot you were sick and now you're laughing with your doctor. What a phenomenal way to live. What a way to live life.
Mm-hmm.
That when people close their eyes and pray for your soul, when people pray for your family, all they can hear is your laughter. I can still hear. I haven't seen him in over 7 years, but I can still feel. I can hear his laughter in my head because the last time we spoke on the phone, I was sick, and he still made me laugh. He still made me laugh. Like, what a way to live life! What an inspiration! What I take from his story is the inspiration to go after my dreams relentlessly, and to do it with so much passion. That passion is pouring over from my eyes, from my ears, from my mouth every single time. Because when he was the best example of when you love what you do, then it shows up in everything you do, with every patient you treat, with every person you speak to. It shows up everywhere. And so, to anyone watching this, I don't know if there's anything to take out of this story, but what a way to live life. And if you had just 60 days to live,
Mm.
just 60 minutes to live,
Mm.
just 60 seconds to live, would you be
Mm.
proud of the life that you've led?
And I was just it when you were sharing that part, like you were so sick and he still made you laugh. Because
Mm,
my son just borrowed this book called, like, it's a Dogman series. I don't know if
mm,
you've heard of it. It's like Captain Underpants and then now Dogman, and I forgot the authors of the book, but in this one book, it was a teaching lesson that's based on this quote. They actually said that they don't really know who it was from. Some people attributed it to Dale Carnegie, but it's actually we don't know um, who it was from. But it was about it was from this quote. Two men looked out from prison bars. One saw the mud, the other saw stars. And in this book, I was able to teach my son there are very good things and there are very bad things, but it's how you choose to look at it. You can choose to
mm.
see everyone being bad, everything is bad, or you can choose to see the stars of good stuff. And for your doctor, he chose to look at the stars, and that,
Mm.
and we get to choose. We have a choice.
To look at the
So
stars.
so powerful, right? Because yeah, there
Mm.
are good things and bad things. We're not going to eliminate that. And on the
Gosh,
other side, there are always good ways of looking at it. So
I love this. One person saw the mud, the other person chose to look at the stars. And so we are always a choice at how to look at life. We're always a choice. That's the thing. You're not a victim of your life. You get to choose to be one, or you get to choose to be the director of your story, to be the writer of your life, to be the main actress in the story of your life. That are I love what Lisa says when she's like, you're not sentenced to your life this way. You have an opportunity to your life. You have an
mm,
opportunity to your future. Every day when the sun rises, it's not just another day to suffer in the world, but it's a day to choose how you want to spend that day.
mm,
Don't worry about too much into the future. Just focus on this day that you have, because you never know if you're going to have it tomorrow. Live every day as though it could be your last day. And as Sean taught us some few months ago, do the best you can do, right? Do the best you can do. Be the best you can. Do the best you can do. Be the best you can be. Live a damn good life. live life that feels good to your heart and your soul. I love you. I think that's all I have to say.
Mm.